What am I to do when they spraying lies, but this is the truth? I ain't gon' post, ain't finna hate on your growth, but they gon' hear my side in the booth. Somebody lied to me too, but Gleazy gon' peep. People divide and they conquer, and knuckles allow it, cause they are not solid, they weak.
Okay, what's good? What's good? This Mr. Go Get It, man. Yes, I did say Mr. Go Get It. I'm coming to you today, man, because I'm getting ready to launch this Speaking the Real, man. And it's been a lot of people that has been inboxing me, texting me. Some have called me, and some have came by my home. It's been like, when you gonna jump on your podcast, man? And when you gonna get some insight on what you think on this and think on that? Because I talk to a lot of people out in the streets about what's going on as far as the politicians, city council, the county commissioners, all this stuff that's really going on. I hear it. I speak on it to the people that I talk to. And the reason why I speak on it to the people that I talk to is because of the simple fact that it is a lot of people, if they really don't know where you come from and they don't know what you have been in your life and how much you have changed up here mentally, how much you have changed in your heart spiritually, they'll still see that same person that they seen 10, 12, 13, 14, 20, 30, 40 years ago. So Mr. Go Get It gonna get here, and I'm gonna get in here and I'm gonna get it. And what I'm gonna get actually is the truth. And what I mean by the truth about my life and why I think like I think. Now, your truth is your truth, but I'm gonna speak the real on my truth. I have seen a lot of people come on Facebook and do some posts, and I love them. A lot of y'all see that I like y'all posts on Facebook. I heart them. I tell up a lot of people on Facebook, happy birthday. Okay, not through like posting, but if it pops up on my timeline and it says so-and-so's birthday is today, boom, I just hit the automatic happy birthday. And the reason why I do that is because I feel like everybody's birthday is special to them, and it should be special to us as well, because life is special. So a lot of people don't really know how I think. So I'm going to let you know on this new series of a podcast that I'm going to be talking about, and the name of it is I Got Time Now. And the reason why I got time now, because I didn't have time to sit down and really tell people about me. And then for them to know why I think like I think. But I got so many people that I talk to that I feel I truly inspire. And I feel like I inspire them in doing better because they done seen my worst. You know what I mean? They done seen my bads. A lot of them know my uglies. But I feel like everybody know my uglies that was back there. Everybody know my goods that was back there. So what I'm going to do now, I got time now. I got some serious time. And I'm going to talk to you about things that I experienced in my life to what I see is going on now in the community. And I know one thing we got to do is we got to trust God. That's what we got to do. Now, if you don't believe in God, that's cool. Do your thing. I'm the type of person like this. I believe in God. And I truly believe, I'd rather believe he is God than not to believe he isn't. Because if I can walk up in somebody's face and I can automatically think because they look a certain color, they're going to be good to me, then how can I say I can't believe in God? I'm automatically believing somebody I don't even know how their life went. So this thing going to get deep. It's going to get real deep. And it's going to get deep for my mentality. For everyone to know how I feel. People that runs into me publicly and people that maybe just see me on Facebook. Because I got a lot of Facebook fans that's way in other cities and states. And to be honest with you, they support me a lot, man. I'm talking about, and I appreciate that, man. It's actually a lot of states that I sit here about 10, 15 minutes just trying to name all the states and cities and the people that I have talked with, the people that I have dealt with outside of Lake City, Jasper, Live Oak, 386, where I'm actually from. I was born in Jasper. I was raised in Lake City. I hung out here and there in Live Oak, and my daddy resided in Live Oak. So I'm connected to the 386. I've been in the 386 before the 386 was the 386. I've been in the 386 when the 386 used to be the 904. So this ain't nothing new. You know, not the Carlton, Mr. Go Get It. This ain't nothing new. So I'm going to jump down in these things and I'm going to be telling you about things that I did right here in Columbia County, Lake City, Florida. You know, I have done some things here. I'm a hip hop person. That's why I actually dress like this. The GGIs for Go Get It. I was given that name actually in South Carolina. An older man named Mr. Norman. Anytime he sent me to do something, or anytime he told me to do something, he would always say, go get it. Go get it. He would always tell me, go get it. I said, okay, I'm going to get it. And then he told me, you're a real go-getter. This was back when I was living in Denmark, South Carolina. 1997, 1998, 99, before I moved back in 2000. So this is nothing new to me. The hustle game, the music game, even the living game. I can only go on my experience because I do have a lot of people out there that supports me. A lot. And I support a lot of people. And I'm not talking about always monetary, give you something. I'm talking about praying for you. I'm talking about making sure I talk to people about what you got or whatever you're doing. If you in the business life and you cool with me, and what I mean by cool, me and you talk and we talk about your business, I'm going to be helping you with your business. That's the type of person I am. Been like that, even since back in the days. We're going to get into that. Okay, now I was born in Jasper. Now, mind you, Jasper is about 32 miles from Lake City. 15, 20 minute talks on how you drive. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you can go through White Springs. I think that's, if I'm not mistaken, it's 41. Shoot out that way. Or you can go, down Lake Jeffrey. Is then cut through, jump on 41. Or you can go I-75. You know what I mean? Now, in if I'm not mistaken, 75, 76, I think I was like 4 years old, when my mother moved us here to Lake City. She had married a man by the name of Ed Jackson, musician, was a deacon in the church at Day Springs at the time. Had a group called the Gospel Knights, which was a gospel group, musicians played the guitar. He had two sons that played the drums and the guitar, Michael and Jerome, stepbrothers. Rest in peace, Jerome and Ed Jackson. Yeah. So we moved here with him. Didn't see my daddy much, because my daddy was back and forth running here and there, He was in between Jasper and a lot of times St. Petersburg. Yeah, and I got family in St. Pete, peace out to St. Pete, So I didn't see my daddy much, but when I seen him, I kind of grasped everything I can grasp from him. Most of what I grasped from my daddy was he just was kind of like a quiet, laid back person. If you didn't really involve him in the conversation, he wasn't in the conversation. And I picked that up from him, because if I'm not involved in the conversation, I'm not going to jump in the conversation. Even if it sounds juicy to my ears, I ain't going to say nothing. Because I've learned from experience that sometimes you can drag your own self into things and don't even realize you're dragging yourself in it. Now, on to when we moved here. It was like 74, 75. I know I was 4 years old, 5 years old. He was in that group, the Gospel Night, which he actually was the leader of that group. And I think that's what made me grasp the music thing. Because I always used to kind of be around him all the time when he was either playing the guitar, practicing with the group, or when he worked at a radio station here in Lake City. I don't know if a lot of the younger people, like my son, even my oldest daughter, she's 31. I don't even think she don't even remember. No, she don't remember this, because it was when I was a child. But I know some people out there probably still living that remember when WGRO used to be up on Marion Street. And WGRO was a radio station, and you had to go up 2 steps, 2 floors up, okay? And it's active, if I'm not mistaken. It used to be right where the parking lot is for the driver's license place. Okay, and everybody should remember, going back that the way you had Mr. Alleganza. You know what I mean? Mr. Alleganza was that spot where everybody bought it, but right up in that area where that barbershop is at right now, and actually right up in that area with that Family Dollar, and my man is running the little kid shop up there on Mary. See, all that used to be, You know, an area where even Ed Jackson had a little record store there. I remember Gene the Taylor was up there. You know what I'm saying? So this, I've been seeing how Lake City was and how it is now. And to be honest with you, I talk to a lot of people, and I tell people right now today, I wish Lake City was like it was back then. I understand the blacks had rifts with each other back then, but they didn't allow it. They didn't allow it to stop the business. That's what we doing. Now let me get on. So we moved here, and I followed Ed Jackson. He was one of those stepfathers. I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't care for. I'm just being honest. I didn't care for him at all. Now his family, I loved them. They are the sweetest people that I have. You know, they sweet. And right now today, they still, you know, some of them squeeze my cheek just like if I was still a little kid, and some of them give me a hug. They always ask about how my mama's doing and everything, because these people understand life is life, and this is what we as a black community need to get back to. And with me saying that, I'm gonna say this to the people that say that, and I'm saying say because we don't really know. Only God knows your heart. That say they are children of God. You got to show that. A lot of times you ain't got to say it, just show it. It says and speaks for itself. See, the problem is a lot of us is trying to speak for God's word instead of letting God's word speak. That's on another conversation, but this family was really, I mean, a loving family. So I didn't care for Ed Jackson because I lived in the house with him. I didn't care for him because I felt like I was targeted. I felt like I was a targeted child. And as it went on, I was a targeted child. So did that upset me? Yeah, by the time I turned about 9, 10 years old, I said I wasn't gonna let nothing or nobody scare me, physically, mentally, and I had to learn the spiritual. Get this now. I said physically first, because that's all I understood back then when I was living with Ed Jackson. Get your behind toe slap up. I don't care if you move slight this way, you're gonna get whooped like you move way big this way. Now, I'm talking about me. I don't know when it come down to my sisters and my brothers, to be honest with you, because I really can't even remember a time of seeing my sister or my brother being disciplined by this man. I was the only one that I seen. Now I could be wrong, but I'm telling you, I'm living my life, and I was a child, man. So by the time I turned about 10, I think about 10, 11 years old, somewhere around there, I started focusing myself on not even feeling pain, not physically. That's what I did. So as this was going on, like my mind is being altered in a certain way now that I don't even remember how, I lived with my mother without Ed Jackson, you know what I'm saying, as a child, even now. So I had some real ill feelings as a child. So I'm letting you, my point is, it starts as children. My point is, it starts in the home. But I'm talking about the physical home of husband and wife, boyfriend and girlfriend, and y'all got children in the house now. I'm not talking on that outside yet. But we're going to get there too. Because the outside is what makes the inside is what comes out to the outside. See, if you ain't really seeing no love, that you can actually say love in the house, all you see is anger. If you old enough, I suggest you move yourself out of the perimeter until you get your spiritual mind right. Because sometimes we go through things because of a spiritual growth. That's what we do. We go through it because of a spiritual growth. But at this time, I was a child. I really didn't know nothing about no spirits. I had been hearing about them because yeah, we running in the church every Sunday, man. We in the church Wednesdays, Bible study. If they want to have a prayer meeting, if they don't have that prayer meeting on Wednesday, you might be back in there Thursday. You know, or we meeting at the house. People meeting at the house. They bringing the kids. A lot of y'all, they don't do that no more. I mean, everywhere the parent went when it came down to actually listen to the word of God, it was a family thing. And then the family brought other people in, the friends and whatnot, because that's the growth of what's going on. That's the growth of what's supposed to have been happening. But you're supposed to be putting each other in physically so they can understand the spiritual part that keeps the physical part of everything that you have going. And it seems what we have lost is that actual spiritual touch as adults that we should have got when we was a kid. Because my point is, when I was going through my situation with Ed Jackson, I was hating, man. And I was trying to tear Joker head. I want to tear anybody head up that even act like they want to even handle me that way. So now I'm already twisted up here because I'm allowing the physical, because I have not really touched in with the spiritual because I'm a child. So as the time goes, I started enduring certain things. If I'm not mistaken, my mama was with him maybe 10 years, and she had a U-Haul backed up, and bam, 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 shot us up out of there. We had moved off the house on 41, like going towards White Springs. It's a yellow and red house right now. Right now, the house still is yellow and red. It was that color when we was there. It's amazing. And I used to always say at one time, man, if I got enough money, I want to buy that house and that land. I always used to say that. I still say that right now. The reason why, because it's history. And honestly, it's my history. And this is what I give to my kids. When I pass through there, many of my kids ride me. That's the first house your daddy moved in when he was a child. Same color and all. You know what I mean? This is history. But too many of us are taking our history and covering it up and allowing somebody else to write our history. So back to as I'm going with Ed Jackson, I'm learning that, when I got older, because now I'm gonna skip up a little bit. As I got older, I ended up getting in trouble a lot because my mama moved uptown. We actually had moved up on the name of the street is Lakeshore Drive now, but it actually back then, if I'm not mistaken, it was Taylor Street. It locked on across the tracks in that area, locked on, and it was Taylor Street actually, where we actually first moved. And the house faced towards Mount Pismo. The front of the house, it had a porch on it. It had a little chain, another chain link thing, one of them little square fences that you got wide open here. Had that on it. I remember back in the days, this was about like what 80. I think it's 85, something like that there. And I remember Nodrick, Roger Young, Red Queen, Benny Harper, all us we used to meet and break dance. But they lived on the west side, so me and Jimmy, we always we gonna shoot on that area because Jimmy was cool with Nodrick Dunning. You know what I'm saying? He was cool with Millionaire. My brother had a lot of friends. All our friends on the west side. And we go over there, break dance and do the stuff like that there. But like I said, the name of the street was Taylor Street. So now I'm running the streets basically. And what I mean by running the streets, I'm not home. It ain't like I'm here and there. No, it's just I'm not home. But now I'm learning what other people are doing. I learned it. I had already knew Sammy, God bless the dead, Sammy Harley. I had already knew him through his mom because they was in the church, and he introduced me to Pluto, Lawrence Avenger Jr., good friend of mine. brother, God bless him to rest in peace. But and so now we done moved here and we break dancing on the west side. So now I guess, my mama, she feel the way we were, they were always on that side of town. Mama working 2 jobs. Mama working 2 jobs, trying to go to school, all that. It was something. But I can say this, I thank God we never was on a Section 8. We never got any government assistance. That's why I thank God right now today that, the government shut down and all that. It don't phase a lot of us. It's a lot of us it don't phase because what they don't realize, a lot of us wasn't getting it anyway, to the point where we didn't want it. Some of us thought it was a curse. Some of us thought it was not a help. We never looked at government assistance as a help. I was always taught to look for God to be your help. And I still stand on that now. And I really stand on it more than I stand on it back then. I stood on it back then because my stepdad and my mama, my grandmama, both my grandmamas, they always spoke on God. And I listened to what my people said. All of us, that's how we raised. We raised on what we saw or did or seen done in our homes. And then whatever we seen out in the streets, we took that. But then we notice we took that. It's a choice. You choose to live a certain way and you choose to be a certain way. Like me, I'm at an age where, I feel like I'm gonna still do what I did back then. I know I'm not gonna be running and jumping on the back of the train no more and playing chicken and all that. No, I'm not talking about stuff like that. I'm talking about being honest with who you is. And that was one of the things that I actually learned from living with Ed Jackson. I'm who I am. No matter if you like it or not, I'm who I am. So I learned how to live and deal with me through a lot of adversities. Now, this is dealing with my childhood. I'm going from when I was between the age of 5 years old and the age of 18. These are the areas I'm going to try my best to connect with you all on, so that you will know why I think like I think. And some of the things I'm going to be elaborating on my page and on my TikTok and on my Instagram and on my YouTube, which this is what you will be seeing on my YouTube. I'm asking you to like, you can share it, subscribe. It's going to be about the 386. It's going to be about my life. And the reason why it's going to be about my life, because I'm going to tell you about the things I think, on the things that I see. Because I see a lot of people posting. That's what I want this to be. I got time. I see a lot of people posting. I agree with a lot of these posts. So a lot of these posts that I'm actually hearting and liking, I'm going to come back and speak on this page, on this channel. I'm going to come speak on them. And that's what I'm coming at you with now. I'm coming at with you now to show you how I grew up as a child and how I still think. It just made me learn that whatever you believe in, how you believe, you go for it that way. You stand on yours. You say 10 toes down got to be about you first. It's got to be about you first. And anytime you start trying to bring people in, you got to already know who you is too before you bring them in. That way you ain't got to worry about busting nobody's head open or doing anything that will cause you to have any rift in your life going forward. That's what it means about sowing seeds. We're going to get into that too. If I sit here long enough, I'll talk all day. But this is just an introduction. I got time now. This is just an introduction. I got time now. Yeah. I got time now. And that's why I need to speak in the real. But before I go, let me break this down to you. Everything I do, everything I say, I have a reason why I say it. I have a reason why I do it, and I can explain. One thing I have always looked at as silly as I could ever hear it, even from the time of being a child. And what I mean by child, like in my age, 12, 13 years old, when somebody say, I don't know why I did that. That's one of, as my age, as I growed up and as at my age now, I tell my kids all the time, you think before you do anything. Unless you in a life-threatening situation the way you ain't got to think. Or you don't have time to think. All you have to do is react. That's when you trust in God. When you just got to react. But when you saying you don't know why you did it, especially if it caused a rift, which everything gonna cause a rift everywhere. But sometimes things can cause a rift so far that it takes time, like years and months, to fix it back. So when you say you don't know why you did something, I think that's one of the silliest responses anybody can say. Now, I'm just being honest, because honestly, everything I have did, especially if it caused a rift. And what I mean by rift, I done seen people do some things. Now, don't get me wrong. I have seen some people do some things that was great. And it helped a whole lot of people. And they were like, I don't know why I did it. But there's the reason you did it, because the spirit was working right then. That's the reason why you did it. It's when it helps. Now, when it hurts and you say you don't know why. See, because before you hurt anything, you're supposed to already think. Before you do anything that cause any type of rift, you always supposed to think about that. I don't care how the other person gonna look at you and say, oh man, you ain't gonna, no. If this gonna cause a rift through 20 people or 30 people or 40 people or 50 people, how can I minimize it down to about 5? Can I? Or to none? Your main thing about life is this: when you are trying your best to help everyone, you are shown who to help. And I truly believe that. So we're going to go on to my childhood, and that's one of the reasons why I do move how I move. And I actually won't change it, because I was taught that. And I see now we are living in a world that you cannot even bend no more. Remember they had that old saying, you can bend but don't break. Nah, man. You can't even bend no more. Now, when you bend, people will break you. So we really got to think in our minds and our hearts when we are really out here doing our thing. Just like me with this podcast. You want to make sure you're doing more of a help than a hurt. Now, my other necklace here got the lion head on it. That's just the heart of a lion, because that's just the phrase, because you know what a lion is in the jungle. You don't see a lion run too tough. Now, I haven't seen where a lion run. And then he's called a king because of the crown around his head. But we all are kings and queens. It's just you got to figure out which one's the good ones, which one ain't the ones that's for you. See, everybody's a king and a queen. But it's all about, I just say good and bad. It's not even about what you got now. It's about where your heart is at. So when I do this podcast, it's speaking the real. That's why I'm letting you know I'm coming to talk to y'all about me first, so you'll know why I think like I think, so that you understand, okay, well, this is why he act like this, and this is why he do this, or this is why he stay this, or whatever it is. This is why, And I got time now. So I just, want to come on, and it's going to be some more episodes coming, because I got time now. And I'm going to come back to my childhood. I'll go back to some things that's in Lake City. Some things that used to be here that y'all don't remember. Some of y'all didn't know. But WGRO, yeah, it was up there. We're going to get back into it. Y'all stay tuned now. Y'all stay tuned. I got time now. Speaking Real podcast. Let's go get it. Peace.
What am I to do when they spraying lies, but this is the truth? I ain't gon' post, ain't finna hate on your growth, but they gon' hear my side in the booth. Somebody lied to me too, but Gleazy gon' peep. People divide and they conquer, and knuckles allow it, cause they are not solid, they weak.